Do you ever feel like you don't know how to control your emotions? Like sometimes they just take over you and you make decisions you don't want to make and you show people things you don't want to show about you. You feel kind of like weak, like you're not on your zone. It's not what you want to be doing, but you do it. Well, it's because we don't have emotional regulation. We don't have emotional intelligence. The first thing that you have to do is recognize your own emotions. Recognize them. Make a list of what types of emotions we have and which ones we experience the most and which ones we experience less. When we have a list, it's easier for us to know what's on the radar. We can see more. We are like, okay, so here there's this, here there's that. This is what I have more of, more anger, more sadness. Once you know your emotions and which one you have to work on and which ones you can master, everything can change for you. When you recognize your emotions in yourself, it's way easier to recognize emotions on other people. And this is something that I experience a lot. And that's why I wanted to talk about this topic because I tend to be around other people that don't have emotional intelligence. So I see them as like kids. The way to get things is by using emotions or using a way to make you feel for you to do something for them. They don't do it on purpose, or I mean, they do it on purpose, but they don't do it with like a bad intention, depending on who it is, because some people would do it with because they have a bad intention, but not everybody has a bad intention. And when they do it, it's because they don't know how to regulate their emotions. They don't have emotional intelligence. So their only way to get in touch or get something out of you is by using emotions. Sometimes it could be like a sadness kind of thing, a tone in their voice, like they're angry or frustrated. And they will show that to you, and you will notice, like, why is this person so like emotional about something? It's not regulating themselves. For a leader, the best thing that can happen is that you learn how to master your emotions. Whenever I want something or I'm not feeling good about something, like for example, I want to go to my family's house right now and it's late. It took me really long to make the decision. I feel tired. I'm not feeling my best. And because I wasn't able to control my emotions too, because I was feeling kind of like frustrated and sad. And I'm like, time is going by so fast. I didn't record my video. I didn't do things. And so I got very self critical about it. And I thought, Tammy, stop with the emotions. Stop with it and make the logic decision that come to your head. And I thought, what is the best that can happen? And the whole reason I thought this is because when you think in positive terms, you will get positive results. But if you think in negative terms, you'll get negative results. It's as easy as that. Same when you have an expectation. If you expect the worst, you're going to get the worst as a result. You're going to get it no matter how much you want it, how much desire you put in these things, how much you're like craving to get these things. If you expect that it's going to be the worst, it's going to be the worst. And this is something that you have to work on every single day in the way that you feel about things, about your decisions. So, why do you think that Obama, for example, had the suit, the same suit? Because he didn't have to make the decision. He didn't have to think about, all right, what am I going to wear? Is this going to affect others? Is this going to make everybody think that I'm this or that? No, they're not wasting their time thinking about what other people are thinking about them. A lot of people that don't have emotional intelligence, they do a lot of gossiping. They will gossip because they don't see the flaws in themselves, first of all. And so they like a lot to talk about others, the others that have flaws, because it's easier to see flaws in other people than see them in themselves. And a lot of these emotions sometimes come because we don't know where they are coming from. Like somebody that wants to talk really bad about someone. This happens to me a lot with certain people in my life. They will want to talk really bad about others, and sometimes I'm very cautious. All right, I'm just about to enter the dark wall that I don't want to, or I'm just about to enter the dark door of gossiping, and I'm going to gossip. I know that I'm going to do it. I'm aware of it. And so sometimes I call it out and I say, hey, just so you know, this is gossiping. And I will be gossiping, and this is way too draining for me. I know it was a hard time with people that I work with or anything, but it's not something that I want to do, and that is not something that is in my culture for my business, for example, right? So so instead of focusing on the problems and how bad this person made me feel or anything, just focus on the solutions, good outcomes. Expect the best, and you will get the best results because that's what you're expecting. But the other person, when they want to talk really bad about somebody, I notice a lot of frustration and anger or resentment. And that's when I see through them what's happening. I'm like, okay, so this is what you're dealing with. So I try to stay out of it sometimes, and sometimes I get caught in, but I admit it. I mean, I'm human, I'm learning, I'm still learning, but it's still something that it kind of affects me. That's why it makes it really hard sometimes to spend time with people that I love, because I love them, but they have all this emotional immaturity that sometimes it could be very draining. I don't really want to be talking bad about other people or complaining so much about what's not done, what happens, what we lack, what all of this, but more in like the solution for things. And being aware of things is the best that happened to me. How would you be aware that you're complaining all the time if you don't call it out, if you don't pay attention to it? How will you be aware that you have not as good of an emotional intelligence if you don't see it? You don't pay attention to your emotions, how they are affecting you daily, with your daily decisions, with important decisions, with everything. So the best thing that you can do when these things happen, when somebody wants to gossip with you, when somebody is just expressing all their anger, their sadness, just make sure that you create emotional boundaries. How do I know how to create emotional boundaries in the first place? You have to love the people that you love, but not absorb all their chaos. Do not absorb their chaos and the way they do things is not your fault. First of all, it's not your fault. You can help them, but you don't have to lose yourself. Don't lose yourself if you know what is happening to, like, prioritize yourself before you try to rescue others. Rescue yourself, because that's a hard thing that a lot of people can be struggling with. That it's easier to go help others, listen to others, do things for others, read other people, but we don't read ourselves. We don't listen to ourselves. We're not aware of what we are going through inside ourselves. So most people think that emotional intelligence is being calm or an interest or simply like not showing anything, but it actually means being able to feel what you're going through, why you are feeling it, and choosing your response instead of just reacting. And that's something that I notice in a lot of people. They just react to anything that happens to them. If it's a bad news, if it's you're late on a payment, or you should be doing this, or anything that they're getting a message from somewhere or anything, boom. They don't control what's happening to them. They don't take a moment to feel what they're going through and breathe or just calm themselves. They react right away. And what do? They go like, oh, no, no. And they react, and you see their faces, you see their body language, and it becomes something chaotic. And we're having a good time. We could be having a dinner time. And this one person is not controlling their emotions and making everybody feel like something's wrong. There's chaos, something's happening. But the people that control themselves, they don't get caught into that. They think, all right, this is what you're going through. This is things that you have to figure it out, and they don't show any reactions. Now, if you don't control your emotional intelligence already, it's very easy for you to get caught into somebody else's drama, because that person's gonna drag you in. You're gonna be like, oh no, what happened? Oh no, you're right. This, and instead of looking for the solutions for these things, what do? We get caught into that drama. And that's when we're not being emotional intelligent. Emotional awareness has 7 parts. Emotional intelligence has 7 parts: self awareness, understanding your triggers, regulating your reactions, reading others, responding with wisdom, and setting boundaries. And also using emotions as information, not identity. It's not your identity. But this is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you really liked this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.